Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to take some simple programs using a single for loop. As you know that in the previous video, we have learned about the for loop and the range function, which is a generator function and how it works with the for loop. So let us begin by now utilizing that for loop. We will, write some programs. So let me just write a program for, taking five numbers from the user and we will add those numbers. Okay, any five numbers user will enter and those numbers we will add and we will display. Now, we are not going to use, five separate variables like A, B, C, D. No, we are not going to do that. We are going to use a loop and we will just have one variable. Okay, one or two variables we will be using it. How to do that? Okay, let's begin. So I'm going to declare a variable that is total. Name of my variable is total. I will assign the value 0 to it. Okay. And then I'm going to start with a loop. How many numbers do I need to accept from the user? Five numbers. So I will say for I in range. So can you tell me how many iterations do I require for this for loop, since I need to accept five numbers? So I need five iterations. Okay. So I will simply specify over here five. We are not concerned with the values of I can start from 1 to 5 or 0 to 4. I just require those five iterations. That's it. And then inside this loop, okay, this is the indentation. So I will say n and I will use that int which is used for converting string into number. And then obviously I need to use that input function, which basically waits for the user to accept a input. And then I'm going to say enter a number, right? The closing, this bracket close of this input function, and then this is the int. Again, one more bracket will close. Two opening brackets, two closing bracket. Many of you, when they do this, they don't give the another closing bracket and then there is a syntax error. There are two opening brackets, so it has to end with two closing brackets. Okay. And then what I can do, so what is this is going to do? This loop will run five times. So every time this statement gets executed, it is going to accept a number from the user. We will do this in VS Code and then you will get an idea. And then simply I can say total plus equal to and that's it. What does this mean? I'll give a comment over here. It means total is equal to total plus n. This is what it means, right? This is the short form that we use, plus equal to n. So what is going to happen over here? See, the value of total is 0. So the loop runs, then it will come over here and it will print this message on the screen, enter a number. So user will enter a number and press enter. The moment he press enter, for example, maybe n is 5. User has entered 5. So n is going to receive that value 5 and then total is equal to total plus n. What is the value of total currently? It is 0. So 0 plus 5 is going to happen and this again we are giving it to total. So the value of total is going to change and become 5, right? And then from here, after this statement, again the loop goes and the next value of I will be taken. But we are not concerned with the value of I. We are only concerned with the iteration, the next iteration. Again, this statement will get executed. Again, the message will come, enter a number. So this time, maybe the user has given 10. So what is going to happen now? What is the value of total? That is 5. So now it is going to be 5 and now n has received 10. So 5 plus 10, that is 15 and it is going to get received by total. So the value of total will become 15 and so on. So this is what is going to happen 5 times. Okay. This is the, how we can add the five numbers. Now you can say that why do we require a loop for this? We can take five different variables, add them and display them, right? But what if we have a condition where the user will enter how many numbers they want to enter, which means there will be first function, the first message will be enter how many numbers. Now if user enters 10, so this time the user will be entering 10 different numbers. I hope you're getting this. If user says 4, so only 4 numbers will be accepted. So in that case, we cannot predict how many numbers the user is going to enter. So in that case, we have to use a loop. Let me just show you. I will just show you what I just said it. Okay. So what we will do over here, we will accept a number. Maybe let us say that number is uh, L. Okay, that's the variable name. And I will say int because I want an integer number and input. And I will say message enter, enter, enter how many numbers? How many numbers? Okay, how many numbers? Then the user says 5. Now the loop should go 5 times. Now, since we have that value in L, what we can do is we can use for I in range. And now I will not pass a constant. I will pass this variable that is L. Now, depending on the value of L, this for loop is going to have the iteration. Suppose L is 5, so the loop will go 5 times. Suppose this is 10, the loop will run for 10 times, right? And this is why we require loops. So now the same code will follow. So there is a total over here. Total is equal to 0. Then I will say n is equal to int of input and then the message and then total plus equal to n. And outside this loop, once this loop gets over, I will print the message that the total is colon, very nice message I'm going to print, then the closing quotes, opening quotes and the closing quotes and then comma and then the variable total. So it is going to print the value of total. So the message will be the total is and the number, right? Now that we have just done this, let us just very quickly, we will just run this in the VS Code. So here it is. And this was the program that we did previously. So let me go to the VS Code and I'm going to delete this. So I said, or let me just do it that way. L is equal to, I'm showing int, I'm going to give int input, enter, okay, single quote or double quote has to start, enter how many numbers and then the colon, right? And now my for loop will go from I in range, and that is L. So depending on the value of L. And also I need a total over here. Total is equal to 0. And now you can see that the cursor is blinking over here, but I need to come inside the loop. So I'm just going to press tab. So now I am inside the loop. Or else you can come to this colon over here and press enter, right? Then I'm going to say n is equal to int and then input, okay, enter a number. Again, I'm not giving that quotes. So enter a number, right? And then simply I will say total plus equal to n. And then I need to come outside the loop. So simply press the backspace. Okay, now you can see you are outside the loop. And then I will say print the total is colon and then comma and then the variable total, and that's it. Now let us just run this program and see the output. As you can see, okay, let me just give this one value. Okay, I'm giving over here just a minute. Okay, I'm just going to clear the terminal just a minute and then I will show you again. Let me just clear this and now we are going to run it. See, enter how many numbers. So if I say 4, now it is going to accept 4 different numbers. You can see enter and now enter a number 12, enter a number 34, right? 56 and 78. It will only accept 4 numbers and boom, the total is 180. So that's the total it has done, right? So I hope that this program was very much useful for you and it makes you understand that why basically we require a loop. There are many situations that we never know how many times the iterations is going to go. In that case, we require maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10. So we require a loop in that case. So I hope you have understood about the loops and you have understood this program. So keep practicing and keep coding. Thank you so much.